But back here in the Philippines, there is so much more to this country than just Manila or Cebu. In fact, there are over 7,000 islands to choose from for a start, and getting around them can be a logistical challenge. So here's Carmen Roberts with an easy guide to island hopping.
Most journeys to the Philippines will begin here in Manila, situated on Luzon, the largest of the 7,107 islands here. That's a lot of ground to cover, so let's see how many I can do in a week. The island of Luzon has an area of almost 105,000 square kilometres, making it the 17th largest island in the world, as well as the 4th most populated. In Manic, Manila, the main form of public transport is the jeepney, fashioned out of US Army jeeps left over after World War II. Jeepney travel is dirt cheap. It costs around 7 pesos for the first 4 kilometres. That's less than $1 US. For me, this island is too big and crowded. And besides, there are 7,106 others to explore. But how easy is it to get there? Oliver, you're a pilot. How many islands have you been to?
I've been to Lawag, Vigan, Baguio, Baler, Palawan, Cebu. I think around 50.
There's a lot, so probably I've only been to around 10 in my life.
200 islands or something like that, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. To tick off a few more islands, we head west to Palawan, a string of islands that lies between the South China and Sulu Seas. We need to take a light plane to get there. Light being the operative word. The baggage limit is just 5 kilograms, including hand luggage, and then they start on the passengers. So overweight people aren't allowed to get on the plane. Of course, I'm kidding, but this does add new meaning to the term excess baggage. And if the plane is overloaded, you could be asked to offload some luggage. Palawan has a coastline that stretches almost 2,000 kilometres, dotted with roughly 1,780 islands and islets. And so begins our island hopping adventure in amongst the limestone cliffs jutting out of the sea, formed more than 250 million years ago.
The outrigger boats are called bangka in Filipino. So they are traditional boats here. That's the main mode of transportation by sea by the locals. So it's been used for years and years by Filipinos.
Most resorts in the area will organise tours to the islands. We stayed at El Nido Resorts based on Miniloc and Lagan Islands. You'll no doubt see its big lagoon adorning many brochures and postcards. Here you might like to downsize your boat. So we're about to enter the small lagoon. Now you best watch the tides because at low tide you can get in on a kayak. High tide, you might need a snorkel. Nearby, Entalula is known for its soft white sand, and possibly the most famous is Snake Island.
The sandbar or Snake Island formed because of 2 opposing currents that met at the middle and deposited sand where the sandbar is right now.
Getting away from white sandy beaches, though I'm not sure why, you can catch a pre-dawn ferry from Cebu to the island of Bohol. The jungle interior offers travellers a wealth of off-the-beaten-track options, but this island is most famous for the chocolate hills and the world's smallest primate, the tarsier. Island hopping in the Philippines is as much about the journey as the destination.
What is unique is getting there by plane and then getting to another smaller island by boat, which is traveling less frequent. No? And I guess that's the uniqueness of the place, because being less frequented by the usual tourists makes it more interesting, makes it feel like you're not in the crowd.
So in a little over than a week, I've been to around 9 islands, which isn't bad going, considering I've not met anyone who's been to more than 200 out of the 7,107 islands here. And when you do the maths, that's less than 3%. Some might say it's the perfect excuse to come back.
Carmen Roberts there with more than 7,000 good excuses to return to the Philippines. Well, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of Fast Track, but please join us again next time when Fiona will be investigating poorly paid pilots and claims that some captains in the US have been forced to take up a second job. But until then, from me, Rajan Datar, and the rest of the Fast Track team here in the Philippines, thanks for watching and goodbye.